When you originally found out that his opponent was going to be Jermaine Franklin, what was your first thought on his opponent?
Slightly disappointed, if I'm honest. We're talking about a former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world in Anthony Joshua. I know that he's coming off the back of 2 defeats to Alexander Usyk, who for me is the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. But to and listen, I know that a lot of people completely disagree with me that they need Anthony Joshua to come back, have a tune-up fight, regain the eye of the tiger, go and get that confidence and what have you. I think he can do that with a higher ranked, higher level of opponent. But I fully understand the reason why they've gone down the route of taking on Jermaine Franklin. Is to get Anthony Joshua back in the game, and hopefully he can come back in the game, because I want to see him at the very, very top table, taking on the likes of the Tyson Furies.
AJ's changed his trainer a few times recently. What does that tell you? What's his mind at? Is he still trying to find that formula?
Well, I think this time he's doing something that a lot of fight fans were calling for maybe 2 or 3 years ago. He dipped his toe in, didn't he, for his last fight with Alexander Usyk, where he brought in a new trainer. We all thought that he would actually up sticks, leave the comforts of the UK, go to America, basically go full Rocky 4. That's basically what we want him to do. And he seems to have done that this time. He's up sticks. He's off to Texas now. He's working with a fantastic trainer, a person that is specialising in bringing out the aggression. And I think that's what Anthony Joshua needs to do. I think he's been caught between a rock and a hard place. He's had a bit of an identity crisis. He's basically tried to become something that didn't get him the original success. He's a wrecking machine. And I think teaming up with Derek James, hopefully, we'll bring that wrecking machine back out, and we get to see that on April the 1st.
Cameron, let me ask you, I totally understand how boxing works, right? There's no way the people that look after AJ will put him in the ring with anyone that they think realistically, I know it's heavyweight boxing, so you can have a lucky punch, but realistically he's going to lose against. I would have liked to see maybe a Dillian Whyte fight, and ironically it was Jermaine Franklin that fought really well against him, actually. But this is a fight that not only he's not expected to obviously lose, but he just can't afford to lose, can he?
No, absolutely not. In fact, if anything, he is expected to do something quite devastating here. You know, this is supposed to be Anthony Joshua 3.0, and he's supposed to go in the ring against Jermaine Franklin and show us the things that we all fell in love originally with Anthony Joshua for. He's got to go in there and he's got to take this guy out. It's not pitter-patter behind your jab, with all due respect to all the big guys. It's not pitter-patter, but you get what I'm saying. Stand behind your jab and try and break somebody down systematically and maybe take him down later on in the fight. People are expecting fireworks. They're expecting an explosion. He's talking that way. The team up with Derek James kind of insinuates that that's the way it's going to be. And I'm excited to hopefully get to see the old AJ back.
Do you know what? I've heard conflicting opinions on Jermaine Franklin. You know, some people, I think like yourself, Captain, are disappointed. I've spoken to Dan Raphael, and he's saying actually Franklin deserves his chance. He's not a bum. He's got to this point.
No,
and he deserves.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the guy's not a bum at all. But we are talking about a guy who is, a top 30 heavyweight, okay? Now, for me, if you are the two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, you are at a certain level. Anthony Joshua, no matter what anybody thinks of him right now, if you were to name the top 5 heavyweights currently active right now, he would be one of the names that you would name. Yeah. So for me, if you're going to have a comeback fight, fine. If you need to rebuild confidence, fine. But you can comfortably do that against a top 10 or a top 15 heavyweight. I don't think at the end of beating Jermaine Franklin, which many of us would concede that you think that he's going to do that. At the end of it, when all the dust settles, do we all go, oh, Anthony Joshua's back? Or do we all go, well, I expected that. Now we need to find out some new questions when he faces top-level opposition. Franklin's good. There's no doubt about that. He is good. He's got fast hands. He's a good boxer. We saw it all against Dillian Whyte. But Anthony Joshua knocked Dillian Whyte out years ago. So I'm fully expecting Anthony Joshua to do a job on this level of opponent.
Just last question, because I've got to let you go in a sec. But last question, do you see this as the warm-up for Joshua before he has another shot at the world title? Or will there be another fight after this if he wins it?
I think this is a warm-up for Dillian Whyte. That's where I think this is going to go. I think this is I think this is the confidence builder. This is the one that gets the eye of the tiger back, and then I think we find ourselves fighting Dillian Whyte.
Okay.